The FIFA World Cup is regarded as the greatest sporting event on the planet, not just because of soccer artistry on display by countries, but other razzmatazz by fans. The decision to ban sale of beer at the 2022 World Cup Stadia, kicking off in Qatar this Sunday, may deny some fans of some excitement. To add more to this, the World Cup host is putting pressure on FIFA to stop the sale of beer at 8 stadia. This is after sale of alcohol was restricted to areas immediately outside match venues and fan zones, as well as within hotels. All right, so joining me to analyze this segment of the program is sports presenter Mian Akira. Welcome to the program.
Good to be here. Many thanks.
All right, so this is Qatar standing by its Islamic principles and Arab principles. While the country has been commended for this, others have said, why did you bid for this?
Well, no doubt that there's a lot of controversy surrounding the choice of Qatar. This has caused scandal, even when you talk about the body that controls football in the world, the Federation of International Football Associations, FIFA. Now, there has also been talks about Qatar's abusive treatment, to migrant workers during the World Cup, and a whole lot of controversy. But beyond that, Gianni Infantino at this point in time is saying, hey, let the games begin. Let's try and separate, politics from sports. But the honest truth is, these controversies will always be there, especially when you take a look at the bribery scandal involving the likes of Michel Platini, Sepp Blatter, and all that coming into the first FIFA World Cup to be held on the soil of Qatar. And interestingly, it's the second, in Asia after Japan-Korea 2022, after Japan-Korea 2002 tournament that Nigeria participated in. But by and large, let's see if football will in any way or the other take away this worrisome controversy surrounding the beautiful game.
All right, what impact do you think this will have on the tournament overall?
Well, I think it's a known fact that beer and football, alcohol and football, they mix. They run. So that's why you can't have a viewing center that is not likely located where they are selling drinks. That's why, and in reality, how does a sponsor, Budweiser, pay $75 million and then they can't even advertise in the stadium? They can't sell their products. It's shortchanging them. And for fans, especially people from Germany, who can't do without beer, you are creating another World Cup. You are creating something that people can't relate with. And that's a serious matter. $75 million gone down the drain, I'm sure something must be done. If this doesn't go into a further scandal of asking FIFA to do a refund, then it could mean that the sum paid now is going to be transferred to the next World Cup.
Mia, do you share the same sentiment with him?
Well, debatable. Now, coming into a country, you must also understand that there is the culture of the country you are going into. And you need to adhere, to some of the cultures. Yes, this has been a debate, and the organizers have also said they would create an avenue, for all this, but not as seen in other tournaments. But like I said, these are major sponsors of the FIFA World Cup. These are people who want to showcase what they have. They want the world to see what they are. So how do you go about this? So it's about the laws in Qatar, the belief and the culture in Qatar against the beautiful game. But the truth of the matter is this controversy is not going to go down easily and soon.
All right, so another angle is some persons have said, well, this could afford visitors that rare opportunity of seeing Islam as what it is, rather than what they call the Islamophobic Western narratives.
Well, if you take a look at all this, you're going to a country like Qatar. You're seeing the first tournament, in the Arab country. And like I said earlier, these are things you see in areas and environments like this. These are some of, the challenges FIFA will also meet in over the 200 nations, that are parts of FIFA. by and large, going forward, I'm sure that some of the challenges they faced here would be some of the discussions that will be taken into the drawing board in Zurich, Switzerland, headquarters of FIFA, and also given a major voice to sponsors in the future. Now, the challenge with the sponsors to a large extent is there will definitely be documents. So what must be exercised in the future, going forward, when a particular country is hosting the biggest soccer fiesta in the world. And that's what I'm sure FIFA will be faced with in the future.
All right, so talking about going forward, should any religious country be involved in any sporting activity?
Why not? Why wouldn't they be involved? But the major issue is, what did you promise? Why are you coming a few days to the tournament to change the rules? If you promised me this is how far you are going to go, then you must be able to do it. You shouldn't be coming 2 days to the event to say, no, even the fan zones, even there, you must go to your hotels. That isn't honorable in reality. It isn't. So what Qatar is doing now is to deny other countries with such pronounced religious inclination the opportunity of hosting a major tournament. You know, some of these track and field events, especially the sprints, can't go to any of these countries because of what the ladies wear.
We will have to wear.
They can't go there. So you already know that. So if you are coming as a Qatar, even in future, the question will be asked. Hope when we get to the field, the rules will not change. Because that's what is happening now. I can imagine the preparation this sponsor would have made to ship its product. They might even be there already.
Definitely.
So what it means, you have wasted money to move, and then you are now going to waste money to take back.
Well, just like I said, it's like pushing or trying to change the goalposts, when the match has started, to a large extent. Fans are not happy. There's a lot of talking points. He made mention of the Germans. The Germans love to celebrate with such, brand, when they win, even in their league and all that, So by and large, this will be part of the talking points in the future. And I'm sure FIFA will not get away with it easily in the future. All these things will be pronounced. And then it's probably a learning curve, for FIFA at this point in time. Besides, Qatar, was well aware of what the FIFA World Cup is all about. They are aware of, the historic nature of the World Cup, the sponsors, and all that. So, coming to address all these weeks, months to the World Cup, to a large extent, to fans who are there, they say it's not fair. But FIFA, it's up to them and their sponsors in the future when you consider hosts.
All right, Mia, let me stay with you a bit. Let's talk about the tournament itself. This is the first in the Gulf region. What should soccer fans be expecting?
Well, I've been impressed to a large extent with what I've seen so far. I've spoken with colleagues, who have touched down in Qatar. And one of the astonishing things is the fact that you're having stadia that can be shipped from one place to another. In the future, you see some form of technology and all that. You also see stadia that are fully air conditioned and all. Qatar has invested so much, no doubt. But beyond that, let's see how this and the beautiful game will come together to make it, something spectacle that the world, is watching out for. Some are saying this would be another footballing artistry or thereabouts, beyond the field of play, taking a look at the environment that is being played. But hey, I think Qatar is looking interesting at this point.
All right, so which of these countries do you see as the favorite to lift the trophy?
Already people are mentioning France. But I think when you run through the stars these countries are bringing, you can't really say for sure now that these four will be in the semi-final. You can't really say because there are loads of them, even African countries. Senegal is missing Sadio Mane, but it doesn't mean that that country doesn't have a chance. because there are so many stars there. When you go in some countries, you find Nigerians playing for them. So it's going to be interesting. We've had discussions here that Nigerians will look away. But I can tell you that a lot of those viewing centers are still going to be packed because you have Nigerians playing for other countries. You have major players in the English Premier League that people want to see. You have scouts who have stormed the venue. And then, like I said, the spectacle of the stadium. You just need to see some of the pictures. I mean, both video and still. And you appreciate that these people, apart from the controversy over beer, they've really prepared well. And the stars who are going there are going to give the best. But I think I go with those who are still saying France stands a very good chance.
Does France stands a chance?
Well, they are the defending champions, and getting to see a country defend the FIFA World Cup trophy consecutively, defending it in the role is a huge task. Unfortunately, in the last 24 hours, in training for Le Bleu of France, they lost an experienced player in Karim Benzema of Real Madrid Football Club, and he's been ruled out of the World Cup, which is a major blow, you know, to the French national team. And the manager of the side has said he's not going to call up a replacement, you know. That's not going down with me, you know, as a fan and as a journalist also. But hey, I don't think I want to go with the French national team.
Okay, so what team?
I will go with the Seleção of Brazil.
Okay.
I feel the Brazilian national team, they've got everything it takes. One, they've got youths, young players who are very experienced, players who are in their early 20s, and that's when you get the best, you know, from some of the best players in world football. You've got Vinicius, you know, from Real Madrid, Rodrigo from Real Madrid in their early 20s, and they are playing, you know, the best of football. There is a Martinelli from Arsenal who has been tipped years back by different managers. Ronaldinho felt, yes, he's one player to watch out for in the future. The manager of Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, also felt he's one player to watch out for in the future. And when he was named in the Brazilian national team back home in Brazil, there were a lot of, you know, opinions that, oh, he's still too young. But I'm sure they have a point to prove. But the young attacking flair mixed with the experience of the likes of Neymar, Thiago Silva and the likes, I think the Brazilian team with Tite, they have something to prove, knowing fully well that the last time Brazil also came this far, you know, was in 2002, Japan-Korea FIFA World Cup tournament. So will the Seleção, 5-time World Cup champions, 58, 62, missing it in 70, but then came back, you know, to indeed do justice. Let's see, winning it in 66, missing out in 66 to England. Would they indeed then get the job done this time around? That's the million-dollar question.
So we've talked about the country. Now let me ask you, what player do you think will stand out at the Qatar World Cup 2022?
Well, I was looking out for Benzema, but now he's out. I think I will also join France in looking out for what Lionel Messi is going to prove. He's moved from the height of his game to perhaps the lowest in years with his move to PSG. My thinking is that he should use this World Cup to prove that it is because he's here to get used to the system, or perhaps something is happening in PSG, that's why he has not been himself. I'm looking forward to it.
Lionel Messi?
Let me start from where he stopped. Lionel Messi, he has said it, that this will be his last FIFA World Cup tournament. And yes, some say the Messi we know 4 years back, 8 years back, it's not the same Messi. This is not the Messi of Barcelona. It's a different Messi entirely. But sometimes people will tell you that old wine tastes better, especially when it comes to national team football. National team football or the World Cup is not like the marathon where you see in the Premier Leagues and also, you know, other European championship. But sentimentally, I want to believe that the Argentines will not win the FIFA World Cup tournament. Sentimentally, I also want to believe that the Portuguese national team will not win the FIFA World Cup tournaments. That's between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, because this could be their last World Cup tournament. Maybe it may not just end up in Europe, probably. I will still stick with the Brazilians.
Let's watch and see. All right. Thank you very much, Mia and Akil, for
Always a
joining me
pleasure.
on the show today. And thank you very much, Mr. Dotun.